Okay, we will get started. I will call to order the City of Milton Common Council meeting this Tuesday, February 17th, at 6 o'clock p.m. Can I get confirmation of appropriate meeting notice?
Meeting notice was posted at Milton City Hall, Milton Piggly Wiggly, and Hometown Ace Hardware.
Approval of agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We have an agenda. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comments regarding items which can be affected by council action.
There's no one signed in at this time.
No one signed in. Okay, number 5, approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Regarding D, there's a house on that parcel that's being divided, and it doesn't state anywhere about a well or an on-site wastewater system. Somewhere in the process, who looks at that?
That would be the county would be looking at that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Sam. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, discussion and possible action regarding the special event permit application received from Milton Youth Tri organization for the Milton Youth Tri event on June 14th, 2026.
I just have one question with this is Milton Youth Tri, is that an organization now? Is that like a nonprofit in itself?
At this time, we're still connected to the Community Foundation of Southern Wisconsin. We're working to become our own separate entity, but we're connected to the Community Foundation of Southern Wisconsin.
Is this looking to try to be like accomplished before the run? Like it's in June. Are you guys trying to do that beforehand?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
So the run's in June, right? Are you guys looking to become your own entity before June?
We are, it is a nonprofit. We just do not have our 501c3. So we can still operate as a nonprofit. We cannot, and we've already applied for it. So we're just waiting.
So I'm confused. Is it the community foundation or is it a nonprofit itself?
They're our fiduciary agent. What's your concern? Can you tell us your concern?
It's just to make sure the application's filled out correctly, that's all. Just to make sure the application's filled out correctly. It's a great event. I'm not trying to, awesome. You know, I'm not trying to do anything like that. It's just if it's, if the organization name is the Milton Youth Tri, you know, it's like, then it should be the Community Foundation, DBA, Milton Youth Tri. Awesome. You know, just a nuance, really.
But it isn't a DBA. It's just a nonprofit, and they're our fiduciary agent.
Do we see concern from a legal aspect? Is that what you're getting at with this? Making sure that it's filled out correctly and we know who's holding the insurance or responsible for the event. Do we require, you don't have to be a 501c to pull a special event permit, right? Can be anything at all. So we're just talking about the name on the permit.
Yeah, an individual can do an event, right, but then the individual wouldn't put an organizational name on it. It would just be on a person.
I move to approve the special event permit for the Milton Youth Tri.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain. Same. Abstain.
2 abstentions. Motion carries. Number 7, discussion and possible action regarding a request to rezone property to MR20 with a PUD overlay for parcel V23-1375 and associated ordinance 2026-582.
Next Generation, the owner of 11.65 acres of land northwest of Lucas Lane and Stearns Road, has requested these parcels be rezoned to MR20 with a PUD overlay and remove the conservation overlay. The request to rezone the property to MR20 with a PUD overlay corresponds with the owner's plans to develop the subject site with rental housing that would not fit traditionally zoned lots. PUD zoning allows for greater flexibility with setbacks and density requirements than traditional zoning. As shown in the attached site plan, the owner intends to develop this 11.65 acre land holding with a mixture of 15 one-bedroom apartments, 71 two-bedroom apartments, and 32 three-bedroom apartments. They're proposing a total of 28 buildings with 118 units. Site plan shows a creation of West Sunset Drive, private roads, stormwater areas, as well as a rental office and pickleball court. Next Generation has conducted wetland testing and discovered that most of the property was not wetlands, as indicated by our zoning map. Per state statute, Next Generation applied to the DNR for wetland mitigation and were approved with the purchase of 0.28 wetland credits for wetland mitigation banks. The Milton Code of Ordinance in section 78.2.803A states refinement of an overlay district boundaries by on-site delineation. Because of the mapping of environmental and cultural resource areas protected by the city, as provided by the county, state, and federal sources, is general and not provided at a surveyed level accuracy, the boundary of each resource on the parcel proposed for the development activity that is identified on the city map of overlay districts shall be subject to site visit and staking of each resource boundary located on the parcel. The staking shall be conducted by an expert in the resource officially recognized by the agency responsible for the general source mapping of that resource. Next Generation has fulfilled the required mapping requirements to remove the conservation overlay zone. The project will also include a land swap between the city and Next Generation to provide stormwater facilities to the area. They will be providing the city with approximately 0.78 acres, and the city would be providing them with approximately 0.35 acres. The city's 2026 street project, altering the intersection at Stearns Road, John Paul Road, and extending West Sunset is taken into account in this plan. The purpose of the request is to rezone the property to PUD to allow the developer to move forward with a specific implementation plan as required by the city ordinance section 78-1044. Upon successful rezoning, the developer would then bring forth a complete site plan submitted that will address the aspects of the criteria related to the specific implementation plan approval process. There's no fiscal impact to the city of Milton for the rezoning. The development of the land, however, will result in additional tax base within the city of Milton. The Plan Commission did have a public hearing and heard from many folks from the neighborhood and did forward a recommendation to deny that rezoning request. Enactment of an ordinance, if the council still chooses, requires a first, second, third reading, and a motion to adopt. If the council prefers, the second and third reading may be waived at the same time the first reading is completed.
So if I heard you correctly, the commission recommends a denial of this.
That is correct.
But as I read
Unanimously.
But when I read this, the city administrator recommends approving?
I wrote this before that meeting.
Just for some background, guys, I was at that meeting. This room was full. They were all very much opposed. The people of the neighborhood are not opposed to developing the land. Initially, it came out there was going to be 30-something houses, about 30 houses. Then it changed to 118 apartment units, which with extreme high density, with numerous, almost all private roads throughout it. It was Sunset Drive would cut through it, but then all of that would be connected by private road. With no sidewalks on those, there were concerns about drainage, the pickleball court, who would monitor that, and then how do the kids get down to their emergency vehicles getting back there because those private roads are non-standard width. And then if there's only, and then one of the variances they applied for was fewer parking areas that were then required by ordinance, so then people are going to start parking on that private road, which is not enforceable because it's a private road. And then we have all those issues, and then given the public out all of that, and then one of our commission members pointed out that brought up the definition of a PUD, and it was hard to see where their variances that they were requesting were aligning with our definition for our zoning ordinance for a PUD. And it was hard to make that connection. So all of those things combined, we voted to deny the request.
I make
Yeah. Ken, was anyone from Next Generation here to talk about any of those concerns?
Yes, he was. And he addressed them as best he could.
I make a motion to deny the rezone property to MR-20 with a PUD overlay for parcel B-23-1375 and associated ordinance.
Second.
I would suggest, because of the way your ordinance and this ordinance is drafted, that if you wanted to do that, which you have the right to make that motion, that it would be similar to when you make a motion to approve and waive. Here you'd be making a motion to approve the first reading, waive the second and third, and deny. Then you have that record. Because right now, that's how your ordinances are set up. You have your first reading, second reading, third, and then you have your decision. So,
I think that should be read again. Process this. If we did a second reading, maybe have more dialogue. But if we're denying this as a whole, then I guess it's the Sequel Council does it not make sense to have second and third readings?
that's up to the council as to whether you want to have second and third readings. You can approve a reading, that doesn't mean that you'll approve the ordinance. I'm just noting that if you did want to take action on denying, that would be the appropriate way to do it. Then you have a record that what you've done, versus just saying deny, because then you haven't followed your procedure for first, second, and third. But if you wanted to have approved the first reading and that's it, which you can do when you've done in the past, then you'll bring it back for a second reading, and then if you want to get more information at that time, you can. And if you wanted to then waive the second and third and deny, you can, or you may change your mind, whatever. So you have various options that you can follow.
I would point out that there were 3 representatives of Next Gen here this evening, and if they could have chosen to stay, they knew that we would be bringing this up. They had the option to be here to be heard tonight if they wanted to be, and they left after the Plan Commission meeting, which had a unanimous vote to deny.
Derek, is your concern in the fact that maybe they might want to come back, maybe to have some negotiation to be able to rework this plan maybe and something like that, and want to leave it open for that?
Yeah, I just thought, if there was concerns of the residents, I'd want to have multiple readings so that everybody could express their concerns on their side. But then also on the other side of the business, I'd like to have them a chance to express their concerns or do something. But I'm just processing this as if what's just most appropriate. And I would appreciate the feedback of my council members.
If you'll allow me to present some feedback too, if they do want to change the plan, they would have to resubmit and go through the public hearing process again. Since it was denied, both the public and the developer had the opportunity to speak, and both did take that option, so they had their day in court, so to speak. Ken makes a point that they knew they were going to be discussing it here tonight, and they've chosen not to be here. So if there are changes, that will have to come back and go through the planning process again.
I make the motion to deny with waiving the second and third readings.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That motion carries. Number 8, discussion and possible action on ordinance 2026-583, an ordinance repealing and recreating section 2-751 of the Code of Ordinance.
The proposed ordinance established clear authority and approval thresholds for accepting monetary and non-monetary donations, gifts, memorials, and fundraising proceeds on behalf of the City of Milton. For the first point, the state has ended the personal property tax, and the repeal of our current ordinance 2-751 coincides with state law. The proposed replacement ordinance allows department heads or city administrator to accept donations valued at less than $5,000 when the donation serves a public purpose, aligns with city goals and adopted plans, and does not result in an unbudgeted expenditure or ongoing obligations beyond approved departmental budgets. This provides flexibility for routine or minor donations while maintaining fiscal safeguards. Regardless of dollar value, any donation that requires unbudgeted city expenditures, creates ongoing maintenance, operational, or staffing obligations, requires acquisition of or improvements of city property, or obligates the city to future financial commitments, must be approved by the Common Council before acceptance. This ensures long-term fiscal impacts are reviewed as part of the public decision-making process. Park and Rec Committee has reviewed this and has forwarded a recommendation for approval. Essentially, what we're trying to do here is when someone wants to donate a bench, currently how it's set up is we have to go to the Parks Commission and ask the Parks Commission if they'd like to accept it. And then a week later, we get to come to the City Council and ask the City Council if they'd like to accept it. If someone wants to donate us a bench, we say yes. And many times you folks have voted here before we even got done reading about the bench. Yeah. So this would allow us to do that. For the fiscal impact, there's no direct fiscal impact associated with the adoption of the ordinance. The ordinance is intended to prevent unplanned expenditures and ensure any financial or operational obligations created by the donation are reviewed and approved by City Council in advance. City Administration recommends approval of Ordinance 2026-583. Again, enactment of an ordinance requires a first, second, and third reading and a motion to adopt or deny. If the council prefers, the second and third reading may be waived at the same time the first reading is completed.
So I think this is a good streamlining of the process. So because it has always seemed like a long process to get a simple donation. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and approve the first reading of Ordinance 2026-583, waive the second and third reading, and adopt.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Number 9, discussion and possible action regarding bid award for the 2026 utility and street improvement project.
I make a motion to table agenda items 9, 10, and 11.
Second.
Can we do all three at once, Counselor? Yes. Okay. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries. Discussion and possible action regarding the High Street project schedule.
On January 6th, 2026, there was a meeting between city staff, R.H. Batterman, who is our engineering consultant for the High Street project, and WISDOT staff. As the project has developed, there is additional right-of-way that is required to be acquired for the construction of sidewalks along High Street between Parkview Drive and Janesville Street. In addition, we would like to further analyze the intersection of Janesville Street and High Street. And due to those changes, WISDOT and Batterman is recommending a change to the project schedule to complete the necessary work in accordance with the DOT planning and design process. The proposed project is currently scheduled for an August 1st, 2026 PS&E with a January 2027 let. The proposed change would be to move the project 1 year to an August 2027 PS&E with a winter let. It could be December 2027 or January 2028. If the council approves, we would also need to present this to the MPO for an update to their transportation improvement plan, and then we would follow up here with a change management request with WISDOT. I guess if there's any questions, I could try to answer those further, but that's the item.
Any questions or motion?
Are there going to be, if we do move this, is there going to be a big project next year to take its place?
We are, or have been looking at the capital improvement plan. We do have an application in with DNR for Safe Drinking Water Loan Program funding, and we would be, depending on how that shakes out, that project would slide into this one's place.
Then I go on to further ask, is there going to be like a double up of, is there another project scheduled to take place at this time that we're proposing it to take place?
There are some smaller projects, but not a big project to the scope of this one.
We're flip-flopping what we had anticipated to do in 29 to 28 and moving 28 to 29.
Okay.
But the,
27 to 28.
oh, excuse me.
Okay.
We're flip-flopping.
Okay.
So I think
Yes, I would move to approve the work order from Baxter and Woodman Inc. for construction engineering services for the 2026 utility and street improvement project.
We, I'm sorry, Alderperson Smith, we were looking at number 12, High Street schedule change request.
That's what you meant. Mark, did you have something else to add?
I was just going to add, so the request is to move the project back 1 year to an August 2027 PSNE with a winter let.
Have Jenny read it back.
I would move to approve and the project pushed to a minimum of 1 year to an August 2027 PSNE and a winter January 28 let.
Is that what we're going to be locked into January then? Do we want an option of December?
Sorry, December 27 or January 28 let.
Second.
And ultimately that will come back to the council in the agreement.
I don't want to be locked into something that might change.
One other question. We also had a plan to do some work on the, I think, the other end of High Street, where John Paul and stuff like that. That's separate from this, I believe.
No, that is part of this.
That's part of this? Okay, that's part of this?
Yes,
Because
yes.
this is not the first time this has been pushed back.
Yes, you are
then.
correct. It has been moved back.
Yeah.
The first move was specifically a request by DOT and the Janesville MPO due to funding
Right.
within the MPO.
Okay.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries. Number 13, discussion, direction, and possible action regarding an electronics recycling contract.
This is to renew the contract with COM2 for e-waste recycling. We entered into this agreement originally in February of 2024. The program has been well utilized with the total amount of material collected of nearly 12,000 pounds in 2025. This attached agreement is similar to prior years, and with the main change being that it allows for an automatic renewal on a yearly basis. The agreement has been reviewed by the city attorney. The service is free. It does not cost the city any money outside of staff time for collection and coordinating with the COM2 company for pickup. Again, all pickup and drop off occur during normal business hours.
I would make a motion to approve the agreement with COM2 Recycling Solutions LLC for electronic collecting and recycling for the city of Milton.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
I have a question.
Is there any discussion?
Thank you. Sometimes I have to beat you to it.
It's okay.
You move so
So
fast.
it's been a long day.
Sorry, I'll be fast
Go ahead.
then. Just a clarification, it says they collect and process electronics. They take it offsite to process, correct?
So we are the registered collector, registered with the DNR. COM2 may also be a registered collector, but they are a registered processor, so they do the processing at their facility. So we collect it, and then they take it offsite and do the processing.
Okay, thanks.
Super nice.
Good question. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? That motion carries. Number 14, general items, committee reports. If anyone has a committee report to share.
I already gave you mine.
Yeah, you did good.
Historic Preservation's meeting tomorrow, talking about signs.
I thought you said science.
That too.
Okay, thank you.
Parks did not meet quorum.
Sad face.
Yep.
Anyone else? All right, then, staff reports. Mark?
Excuse me, I don't have a lot to add or update at this time. We are all aware of the project and the items that were tabled here tonight, so we'll bring those forward at a future meeting, working towards plan development for the water main improvements that will be flip-flopping with the High Street project, and then, as we have been continuing with the design of High Street.
Thank you. Kelsey?
The 2025 audit is the week of March 16th, so I've been busy prepping for that, getting everything finalized. We do have the seasonal DPW jobs posted for 2026 on our website, so if you know anyone interested, we could use some applications to come work at DPW over the summer. And I won't steal his thunder, but we have police interviews coming up later this week for the open police position. Brandon will maybe have more on that.
All right, thank you for giving 2 reports. Go ahead, Paul.
Continuing the Public Works report, we did meet with a wastewater representative and looked at many options for the wastewater plant. They will be continuing working on that report. A very good meeting, very long meeting, a lot of interesting things about wastewater, and I think it was very productive, though. Have been working with a current business in the business park. They are looking at doing another expansion, so that's good. That's a good, it's a business that's just been going gangbusters and been moving forward. Really happy to see that. One thing during our strategic plan presentation last meeting, one thing that I noted was I'd failed to set up the town hall discussions with alders. I'm envisioning 2 alders come once a year, sit down, have the public come in and sit down so they can talk to you, have a night meeting. If you would like to volunteer for a future date or time, please reach out to me, and I will set that up.
Thank you. Jenny?
We didn't have an election today. That might have been people coming in. But with that, we have our Badger books that are going to be new for this year. I know I've said this a couple times before, but it is a very big change for the city of Milton. So I've been creating additional educational brochures. So we have posters starting to go up around City Hall and other locations. Also brochures to hand out when people are paying utility bills, etc., so that they're aware of it and they can ask additional questions at that time. So then with that, liquor licenses are due June 30th. That's when they expire, so we're already starting that process. And I do want to say thank you to Lakeside Fire and Rescue, because we have had a lot of new businesses and business licenses recently within the last couple months, and they've been doing the inspections really, really quickly. So it's been really great, and we actually had a business thank the fire inspector for doing it so quickly.
Ashley?
The board met last night and we talked about an RFQ for a potential outreach vehicle / bookmobile. So we're still continuing to pursue that. And we're just very busy. We had 3 programs over the weekend and each program had over 20 people. So we're very busy.
Thank you. Chief, anything left?
I'll be brief. Kelsey's going to give the present. No, I was kidding. We have officer testing and interviews this Thursday. It may not seem like a lot, but we took in 18 applications. That's up 7 from the last process. So maybe we're seeing an upward swing. I like that. So we'll be busy with a lot of interviews this Thursday. Last week I attended the Wisconsin Police Leadership Foundation training. It was a 3-day, 2.5-day ordeal with legal law updates, lessons learned from some mass casualty events that were presented on firsthand from the chiefs from Aurora and Boulder, Colorado. and some PIO best practices. Officer Joe Mardrano is nearly done with phase 3 of training, one more left, and then he'll likely be solo in the middle of, or towards the end of March, which would be a great addition. So hopefully we'll get some reprieve from the overtime that our officers have been battling. Other than that, nothing new from the PD side of things.
All right, thank you. Sure.
Chief Pickering did stop by earlier today. He did mention that he was going to be unable to attend tonight's meeting due to a different fire commitment. He did drop off his fire report. One thing he did wanted me to note is the year-end financial projections made it by the skin of their teeth, a positive of 15,535. So good job managing there. It's always great to be under budget. And just reports over the 2025 in review. So you've got it. If you've got any questions, you can reach out to me or reach out to Chief Pickering.
All right, thank you. Team building exercise. So the question that we're all going to answer tonight is your favorite winter Olympic sport. It can be participating or watching. There was someone asked for clarification on that, but either.
We're not participating in anything. So.
In a perfect world, if you could wear the helmet. No, I'm not going to give it away. Okay, go.
Strangely, I have been drawn to curling this year. Weirdly. Never have. This year, can't get enough of it. Don't know why. Weird.
I've always wanted to participate in one of these, but biathlon.
Bobsled.
I'll go downhill skiing, and I think the addition of drones on downhill skiing just really shows you what they see, and I think that's really scary and really amazing.
You going? Go. The big air. They jump and do tricks.
They have that today.
I like the biathlon, but I think I could only do half of that.
Because of my obsession with a current HBO show, I'm all into hockey.
I'm going to say figure skating. I can't even roller skate, but it's wonderful to watch.
I guess was it like the long jump or something like that, like the Eddie the Eagle style, so that's pretty cool.
Participate, bobsled. I feel like I could still do it at my age. If I were younger doing it over, skiing, downhill skiing.
I'm with Ken on curling. We've been watching a lot of curling the last.
Probably also enjoy the curling.
Skeleton?
Oh, no way. No, you're not.
And that's participate, right?
Dang.
Mark, that's participate?
He's so hardcore.
He is hardcore.
Jenny? You did figure skating. Sorry. Okay, so I'm all for curling, but specifically the guy that scrubs the ice, like right in front. That's such dedication out there. Okay. Go ahead. Commissioner, what do you got?
Yeah.
participating or watching?
And they're going like 70 miles an hour. Nice.
Okay. Thank you all for playing. That was fun. 15, I would consider that motion to convene into closed session if you read it just like it's presented, please.
I would move that we convene into closed session pursuant to 19.85, parent 1, subparent G, conferring with legal counsel for the governmental body who is rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the body with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved. Claim from Linda Quinn.
We have a motion and a second. We're going to do a roll call vote.
Budlong. Aye. Hensey. Aye. Holbrook.
Aye.
Kaczynski.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Walker.
Hi.
Motion carries. We'll see you guys in closed session.
I would move to deny the claim of Linda Quinn dated January the 27th, 2026.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? That motion carries. Next meeting date, March 3rd, 2026. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We stand adjourned. Thanks, everybody.